So this is our master plan, people. It's all in there for the subscribers. We're not just trying to shake you down for a subscription. We're trying to put 5,000 people together like a legion to work together. We have the tech. We have the knowledge of crypto, blockchain, AI, legislation, regulation, the whole thing. It's all there. I need you. Darnell, this is the posse. I'd encourage you to go subscribe, read the white paper, print it out, DM me with questions. If you have the resources to become a partner, just all you have to do is email Bruno at myteams.co, not com, co. If you have the resources to be a partner, you're going to create the master agents and the agents. Understand?
It's in my pocket, all my money spent, so I still coming up with lit, so I start my mission, leave my residence.
Sorry about our little technical difficulties, but it happens.
I used to be a stick up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did.
So I'll sit here for a minute, throw some questions at me. I usually don't do this. I like to hear myself talk. I mean, a lot of you guys have heard me, a lot of my bullshit for a long time, but all of the war on terror, like stock, it's over, people. It's over. Like this weekend, it's over. It's over. They're renegotiating everything right now. Diesel fuel, aluminum, helium, weapon systems, rare earth metals, who controls the Strait of, all of it is being renegotiated right now.
Because I'm paid.
Should you be scared? I don't know. You tell me. I don't know what's going to happen. Over 10 years ago, they created these opportunity zones. You think that 10 years ago they didn't know that we were headed into this? Of course they did. So let's just, when you say Los Angeles, do you mean what they did in Palisades? No, bitch talk for $5. I'm talking about the whole thing. It's like that little girl on TikTok. Are you going to be part of the problem or part of the solution? I'm going to be the whole problem. All of central Los Angeles is an opportunity zone. Like 400 square miles. Do you think they did that by accident? Do you think it's because the progressives or like Obama or some? It's the Rothschilds. Who was Trump's Secretary of Commerce in his first thing? Wilbur Ross. What did he do for a living? He worked for the Rothschilds for 25 years, restructuring things that were bankrupt. That's what's going on right now. The United States of America can't continue on its current path. So we have to go renegotiate with China, who's really economically more powerful than us, other than the fact that we have the food and energy. The U.S. Navy isn't that important anymore. That's why we're sort of getting our ass kicked in the Persian Gulf. They know all this. Do you think the Rothschild, whoever the fuck runs the world, the Rockefellers or whatever, do you think that they don't know what missile systems Iran has? Do you think that they didn't know that the hotels in Dubai were going to hit by a missile? Are you fucking kidding me? They knew exactly what was going to happen. They knew exactly what was going to. Do you think that they didn't know that the price of oil was going to go to $150 a barrel? It's 50-50. See, the only cards that Trump has in these negotiations with Z, he's just like, remember the thing in Godfather where he has the sit down with the opium guy. And he says, I agreed to meet with you because I knew you were a serious man. But I must say no to you because it's true. I have a lot of influential people, politicians and so forth. But if they knew my business was drugs and not women or liquor or gambling, your business is a dangerous business. Remember that? That's what's going on in China right now. But then at the end of it, he says, as long as your business doesn't interfere with mine, like, don't fuck with me. Even though I say, no, we're not going to do business together, don't fuck with me. Trump is in China right now, basically saying, don't fuck with me. I'll set the whole fucking Middle East on fire. There won't be a fucking boat filled with LNG come out of there for 20 fucking years. And that's why they got this crazy guy to apparently run America right now. It's because he can deliver that story better than anybody, right? Loser Iran, right? Nobody can out loser Iran Trump. So he's the Chinese know this, right? Like the Chinese know the capacity of the US Navy. Putin knows it. There's things we don't know, like hypersonic missiles. We didn't really know about that 10 or 15 years ago. Now they've used them in Ukraine and other places. There's weird hypersonic torpedo things that we sort of kind of know about and we don't really know about. They all know this. This is a big mafia mob boss sit down this weekend in China. It's the biggest thing to happen since Bretton Woods, since the Treaty of Versailles, since in 1,000 years. It's not all doom and gloom. It just is what it is, right? There's 8 billion people on the planet. It's a rough sport. You get dinged up. But when Trump says those things, I'll use this sort of as like an addendum to the piece that I just got done and got cut off. When Trump says, he'll put Iran in the Stone Age, really what he's saying, he's going to turn off the oil and gas to Asia. This isn't hard, people. This isn't hard. The people that run the world haven't turned the world over to Donald Trump. He's the most compromised guy walking down the fucking street. The president of the United States is the most compromised person on earth. Why? Because they can whack him whenever they want. So it's time for us to likewise work on a master plan.
Still like the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm gonna make sure screw. When I'm going along this song, so I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I said. I like you stand in the crowd and watch people about your damn. But think about it, then you understand. I'm just an addict addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit. I gotta use it, even if it sounds at the quiet storm. I hope a beat up converted into hip hop form. Like a rhyme ingredient. Every show you see, every concentration, cause I'm no comedian. Jump is a wild, it won't be tame. I treat you like a child and you're gonna be named. Another enemy, not even a friend of me. Cause you'll get fried in the end when you pretend. Cause I just put your mind on pause and I'm
I don't really like hip hop.
your face, you seem stunned, remember me. You got your hot ear from that soon you start to suffer. But you get rougher when you start to stutter. That's when you had enough of fighting it and make it so you can't provoke, you can't cope, you should have broke. I got a question. It's serious as
Hold on.
up.
Here, just for a little like
Hyper as a heart attack, nobody's smiling, cause you're expressing the rhyming and styling. This is what we all sit down, right? You can't make it, so you take it home, break it and bite. Use pieces and bits of old hip hop hits. Get the style down, packed in the.
but you do need to be thinking about your money.
I got my mind on my money on my mind. My mind on my money, and my mind. I got my mind on my money on my mind.
Okay, enough hip hop references. The money and the resources right now are all in play. What I mean is who controls the oil and who controls Dubai and who controls the Straits of Hormuz and who controls Kuwait. For example, a little special forces group from Iran just ran over. It's like the Persian Gulf looks like this, and like it goes like this at the end, and Iran's here and Kuwait's here. And Kuwait has, I don't know, makes 500,000 barrels a day or something like that. It's a tiny little country with an enormous amount of oil. Iran could overrun it in 3 days. Everything is being reorganized and renegotiated. In other words, Trump's putting pressure on China to put pressure on Russia, to put pressure on Iran to settle this thing down, or he's like a crazy man, I'll just blow the whole thing up. But I know you sit here and you just, it's sort of like I'm torturing you with all this like horror of, because then you turn on the television and then they're like, you're not going to have to work because of AI. They're going to send you a check. Like, okay, people, like one of these things is true. Like one of these realities makes sense and one doesn't. Okay, like diesel fuel's $6 a gallon. At $8 a gallon, the United States, the average American citizen lives. And it's going to be okay. We're going to do okay. But our lifestyle, like nobody's going to be driving 400 miles a weekend to go to baseball tournaments. You know what I mean? Like our lifestyle is going to be reined in dramatically. Now, maybe diesel fuel won't go to $8 a gallon. I don't know. That's my point. Everything is in play. The stock market the stock market is just spasming higher and higher and higher. It's like an orgasm. I'm not trying to be crude. It's a good way to think about it. It can't stop. It doesn't know what it can't even have any. Go read Zero Hedge, Goldman Sachs, UBS. All the big people are like, we've never seen. They're talking about like the kind of inflection points that happen, like when the stock market hits like a bottom, and an inflection point when it hits the top are sort of the same thing. And again, what I'm trying to explain to you is nobody knows how this works. So this is how nobody knows like where the numbers are going to fall. We could have mid double digit, we could have 15% inflation. We have 5% inflation. We've had 5% inflation for the last 25 years since 9/11. Easily 5% inflation. 6% inflation, 6 goes into 72, 12. 6% inflation means everything doubles every 12 years. We've easily had 6% inflation. Not in everything, not in technology, right? But housing, healthcare, education, food, Eggs Benedict at Perkins is $22 a person. 20 years ago, it was $3.50. But right now, nobody knows what's going to come out of China. President Xi might say, I don't know. I really don't know. To be honest with you, I don't even spend a lot of time thinking about what the possible outcomes can be. Why? Because we're going to probably know in about a week. And if it doesn't go well, the war, the war against Iran is really the negotiations with China. You understand it? Like that's not hard to understand. We're going to destroy Iran, which means you're not going to get the oil. Like imagine having 1.6 billion people and oil goes to $200 a barrel. That's what everybody's looking at. China, on its standpoint, can just take over Taiwan whenever it wants. We have no chips. We have no rare earth metals. We don't even have magnets in this country. What? We don't make magnets. Like basic fundamental industrial shit is not made here anymore. I know. But when I hear these things, I go like, how could this possibly it's because the people on Mrs. Rothschild has been developing both sides. Okay, see how this works? And like all the industrial capacity was developed in China. Catherine Austin Fitts says in the 1990s they just took all the money offshore. And this is why, if you listen to me, I go like, if you want to see what America really looks like, get in the car, go drive through South Central Los Angeles. It'll take you hours. There's nothing there. There's no like, there's no like, um, global economic activity there. What do you mean global? Like, there's nothing that goes on there that like competes globally. All that industrial capacity. When I was a young man, I could go to Pittsburgh and I could see the remnants of what was when Pittsburgh used to make more steel than Japan and Germany combined. It's all gone. We have some mini mills down south and shit. They throw some old cars in and melt them down. But like China makes like 10, 15, 20 times more steel. And I don't even know if we know how to make steel from scratch anymore. We don't know how to build a ship. It was on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago. We don't know how to build a ship. I mean, we know how, but like, there's not like a thing to go build 20 frigates somewhere. This is all what's being renegotiated. And what we have is we have Iran by the balls. We can take out Karg Island, which is the balls of their oil industry, where they load all the ships to go to Asia, to go to China. And yeah, we can blow it up whenever we want. That's why Trump's in China. The whole Iran war was just the prep for the meeting in China. Now, let's all calm down. It sounds like I'm winding you up to do something weird. Send me a lot of money, buy my token. Uh, I know what to do about the stock. I have no idea what to do about the stock market. I don't even want to talk about the stock market. I don't want to talk about all these companies that are worth, Anthropic, which isn't publicly traded, but it eventually will be, is worth $1.4 trillion. It has like $30 billion in revenue. I don't even want to talk about that. To me, it's just, it insults my intelligence. But I will talk to you about like hamburger and eggs and diesel fuel and housing and like the real world. And the problem is, if you'd go back to our grandparents or great grandparents, my grandmother, who I was very close to, was born in, if I remember right, 1915. So she would have been 15 when the Depression hit. If you would go back, I remember, here, I'll tell the story differently. I had a client who was a Navy nurse. Her name was Agnes Tomachek. And she was a retired Navy nurse. And I remember sitting with her in she had this cute little house. She was retired on a pension, had like a $300,000 account of all municipal bonds and a few stocks and everything. And one time we were talking about Social Security or something, and that they wanted to privatize it. Here's what she said to me. And she was like 80 at the time. She just started to laugh and she said, "Do you think people are going to like invest their money to retire?" She thought that was preposterous because she's from the Navy, right? Like they don't look at the guys that are like, what are the bottom guys in the Navy called? Like the swabbies or whatever. Like they don't expect them to like run the ship. Like people have to be told what to do. The 401k system is just the system by which we just give all our money to the oligarchy. We have no control over it. The mutual fund companies have no control of it. We're putting it all in indexes. We don't know what it gets invested. I don't know. I'm just going to go to work today, and 8% of my income is going to be sent to Larry Fink at BlackRock. That's how the world works. If you would have told our grandparents that, who lived through the Depression, they would have gone, "What? You think the stock market?" So what they're doing with the stock market is it's just on an uncontrollable inflation. It's just a form of inflation, people. Mark Faber's explained this to us for 25 years. He said the worse things get in America, the higher the stock market will go. Almost nobody else will explain that to you. So here we are. There's all this new technology. You have people like Vitalik Buterin say that the technology has to be decentralized. You have these people saying, if you don't do what you're told, we're going to spray you with fentanyl piss. I didn't make that up. That's your options right now. So go spend 10 minutes studying chain opera. They're just professors. They're just people deep in the system who are like, AI needs to be decentralized. We can do it. 5,000 of you, we can do this. It's there. There's 5 years of content that, like, I've explained to you, like, you're going to wake up one day, Atlanta is going to be on fire. They're going to be negotiating the end of the war. That's sort of what's going on in China. And here it is. We don't have to write any code. We don't have to invent anything. It's it's almost like a moral perspective. Let me finish with this so last Sunday I did this thing, the next 100 years, and I went on about the accumulation of capital formation, like this. If you want to understand where America really is, just remember that thing, Jefferson, that's frequently quoted. If we ever give the bankers the ability to create money, first through inflation, then deflation, our children will wake up homeless in the continent their fathers conquered and all that stuff. You can go look it up yourself. That's what happened. And our kids can't afford houses. And what's the average house? 550,000, 525,000 across the fruited plain. I'm not saying that nobody can afford the houses. I'm saying that in general, like across the board, like 20 to 30-year-olds have 12% home ownership. In the most wealthy country in the world that ran 0% interest rates for 15 years, like, how does this happen? I just think it's like, what's your Roman Empire? Well, the biggest opportunity here is to change how the finance works. There's $60 trillion in mutual funds. Certainly we can build some fucking houses. There's $60 trillion in mutual funds. Certainly we can raise some fucking cows. There's $60 trillion in mutual funds. And a young black woman in Jackson, Mississippi turns on her tap and the water comes out brown. See where I'm going with this? I don't give a fuck about the stock market. I don't give a fuck about Mitch McConnell, Nancy Pelosi, Donald Trump, or any of it. It's all fake, people. It's all bullshit. It's Hunger Games, Stanley Kubrick shit. It's all fake. And there's this big continent. 16% of it's an opportunity zone. You don't have to pay taxes. The problem is you don't know how to make capital formation. You don't know how to put money together. It's illegal. What do you mean it's illegal? It's illegal for you to stand in the middle of Jackson, Mississippi and say, why don't we just all get together and raise $10 million and rebuild Jackson, Mississippi? What do you mean it's illegal? It's illegal. You're issuing a security. And that's on purpose so that they control all the money. This isn't hard. And then I go to work and like send 8% of my money to the 401k. Right. And the water's coming out of the fucking tap. Right. The cure for this isn't AOC. The cure for this is Bruno.